Do not touch my CPP.
The only effective option left is a fair referendum on Alberta independence.
The Alberta Next panel in Lethbridge, where hundreds line up for a chance to speak up. An optimistic premier.
I think he really understands the issues that we put on the table.
As the PM unveils major projects that could be fast-tracked even though no new pipelines were among them. A man charged after police discover someone tunneled into a Calgary woman's apartment.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. It was Lethbridge's turn tonight to host the Alberta Next panel. It's the latest in a series of town halls led by the Premier, giving Albertans a chance to air out their grievances and help the provincial government chart a path forward.
The UCP has scared off foreign investment, threatened jobs, and caused layoffs which only serve to hurt the economy. Now is not the time for division.
Albertans have ridden this roller coaster for way too long. We want off. The only effective option left is a fair referendum on Alberta independence.
Several hundred people lined up outside the venue and packed the room. The town hall's aim is to gauge Alberta's relationship with Ottawa through 6 key areas, including immigration, a provincial police force, federal transfers and equalization, and Alberta's sovereignty. While there were cheers and at times jeers for the speakers offering feedback, the crowd remained engaged. One of the areas the Premier was pressed on was whether she still supported an Alberta pension plan over the CPP.
They've gone from $150 million in management expenses to $6 billion, and they're getting worse results now with their active management than they did under the passive management. So I think we just have to be realistic and understand that it has changed over time, and that's why we have to ask if Albertans are getting the best value for it, and we'll see if people want to go for a vote on it.
I think that they're listening. You know, it's a matter of, this is step one. What happens after they listen, and do they hear and are able to implement it into all these other areas?
The panel will next be in Airdrie on Monday and Calgary on September 29th. Well, despite a lack of pipelines, Alberta's Premier is in high spirits about a list of potential projects which could be fast-tracked. A day after Danielle Smith met with PM Mark Carney, she feels hopeful about the Prime Minister's plan. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Alberta's Premier is boosted by the first batch of proposals for Ottawa's new fast-track approval process.
When I looked at the first 5 projects, I thought finally they get it, because it's all the projects that have been difficult to build.
Prime Minister Mark Carney's list includes the second phase of LNG Canada in Kitimat, BC, which takes liquefied natural gas piped from Alberta and puts it on tankers to Asia.
It will diversify our trading partners, help meet global demand for secure, low-carbon energy, and support tens of thousands of new high-paying careers.
The proposals will be reviewed by the new Major Projects Office in Calgary, which aims to speed up development of natural interest projects. Several business organizations applaud the list. Environmental groups do not. The provincial opposition also supports the list, but says it doesn't meet Smith's recent demands.
She got 0 of her 9 things, and yet now she's super happy because she's realized that her combative fighting posture has hurt Alberta, and it's hurt the Alberta economy. So I'm happy to see she's smiling again.
Carney announced other projects which, with further development, might make the list, including Pathways carbon capture proposed by Alberta's biggest oil sands companies. Smith says her interactions with Carney indicate a shift in government from the Trudeau era.
I think he really understands the issues that we put on the table, and we're working through how to address them.
Political watchers say it points to what might lie ahead.
What that tells me is that behind the scenes, there are negotiations going on with a pipeline company or 2, and some sort of agreement is imminent. And that's why both Carney and Smith are bullish on this.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Premier Smith says they have some more work to do to address the overall investment climate, and says they've got a couple months to do that because Prime Minister Carney plans to announce the next set of major project proposals by November's Grey Cup game. Calgary police have laid charges after a disturbing discovery. They responded to a complaint about a break-in at a Southwest apartment. What they found is evidence that someone had tunneled into the suite from below. A neighbor is now in custody. Jacqueline Wilson has more.
It's a disturbing crime, to say the least.
On September 5th, a woman returned home after being away for a while to find damage and destruction in her apartment.
They had a difficult time getting inside their house because it had been locked from the inside. They were able to make entry inside the premise and then noticed a hole in the wall by the fireplace. Subsequent further investigation by themselves, they noticed another hole leading to the basement suite. And then subject to a police search warrant on the basement suite residence, we found a ladder and another hole leading from that residence up.
The man alleged to be behind the tunnel, 46-year-old Ben Edward Mays. He's been charged with 1 count of break and enter with intent to commit criminal harassment, mischief to property over $5,000, and 2 counts of disobeying a court order. Police say the victim and the accused didn't have a relationship.
Some of the other neighbors had some just unusual dealings with the individual, just that had sparked their concern more around some potential mental health issues.
Mays is in custody and will be in court on Friday. Meanwhile, neighbors are grappling with the reality of what happened.
It's like alarming and shocking, I would say, for sure. Like, it's weird.
Peters was notified by her condo management about a police presence with a message saying in part, quote, "There's no cause for alarm."
So when you figured out what happened, why weren't we notified of something?
Key Condo tells CTV it's working with police and the affected residents. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Police say they have had several interactions with the accused. Mays also has recent charges for criminal harassment that will be heard at his court appearance tomorrow. Police say if anyone has information related to Mays or this incident, to call them or to Crime Stoppers anonymously. A Calgary man is accused of luring a 12-year-old girl and sexually assaulting her. Calgary police have arrested and charged Angir Ali Shamir. Lethbridge police say in April, a girl was picked up by a man who befriended her online. The 12-year-old was taken to a short-term rental where she was sexually assaulted repeatedly. Investigators believe there may be additional victims. The 5 players acquitted in the Hockey Canada sexual assault trial can return to the NHL when their suspensions end on December 1st. The league made the announcement this afternoon. Dylan Dubé, Cal Foote, Alex Fermenton, Carter Hart, and Michael McLeod were all charged with 1 count of sexual assault and pleaded not guilty when the trial opened in April. The 5 players were acquitted in July after a 2-month trial in London, Ontario. The players are all unrestricted free agents and can sign with a team as of October 15th as they wait for full reinstatement. Alberta's Court of Appeal is reviewing the case involving 2 men serving time for their roles in the Coutts border blockade. Anthony Olenek and Chris Carbert were sentenced to 6.5 years for mischief and weapon possession. Olenek was also convicted of possessing a pipe bomb. The jury found them not guilty of conspiring to kill RCMP officers. The men want the appeal court to overturn their convictions or reduce their sentence. A missing Saskatoon woman could be in or around Calgary or Red Deer. Alberta RCMP issued the alert for Lexi Singer, who has not been seen or heard from since September 6th. On behalf of Saskatchewan investigators, she was last seen in Saskatoon. RCMP are concerned for her well-being. The 23-year-old also goes by Willow, Violet, and Rose. Anyone with information on Singer's whereabouts is asked to contact RCMP. Danielle is in with our first look at the weather. It sure seems that summer is not done with us yet.
We're holding on. We're holding on to it. Yeah, mid-20s for today, mid-20s, even as we head through the weekend. So that's some good news. 12 degrees to kick off the day at 8 a.m. Now for the morning, it will be mainly cloudy. You'll notice those clouds increase. Small chance of a very isolated sprinkle here and there, especially for the early afternoon hours. And then later in the afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 24 degrees. I'll have your full forecast. That's just ahead. Don't miss the Hospital Home Lottery Range Rover VIP deadline. Deadline is midnight tomorrow to win a Range Rover Sport or choose $125,000 cash. Buy now at hospitalhomelottery.com.
Thank you, Danielle. The province aims to transition Albertans currently receiving Alberta income for the severely handicapped benefits to a new program, the Alberta Disability Assistance Program. It claims ADAP will create more opportunities and more incentive for recipients to earn income. But Alberta disability advocates warn the program will leave people with less money and greater hardship. Kevin Green reports.
The Alberta government plans to replace AISH with its new Alberta Disability Assistance Program, or ADAP, in 2026. The change lowers monthly benefits by $200 while shifting people into a system the province says will focus more on employment. In a written statement, the province says ADAP will give Albertans with disabilities more opportunity to work while continuing to receive the supports they rely on. The province says it will change the threshold at which earnings are clawed back, allowing recipients to keep more of it. The CEO of Inclusion Alberta says it won't work.
Simply not going to happen. We're not going to generate enough well-paying jobs for people for them to be better off than if they just left AISH alone.
Currently, under AISH, a single person can earn just over $1,000 before clawbacks begin. That threshold drops to $350 under ADAP. For Alex Jack, the benefit reduction will mean cutting back on food.
The first thing to go would be being able to feed myself because grocery prices are expensive.
The government says health benefits will be protected and promises new services like training, case management, and job placements.
They give one example in their materials of a guy working an extra 68 hours a month, but he's only taken home an extra $500.
Critics also warn families will lose spousal and parental income exemptions. AISH eligibility will be narrowed to those deemed permanently unable to work, with others pushed into ADAP.
This ADAP program is going to fail on all the metrics that the government's promised.
The province expects the new system to take effect in the summer of 2026, but says it will top up benefits to current levels until sometime in 2027. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Currently, there are approximately 77,000 Albertans receiving Alberta income for the severely handicapped benefits. Measles cases are on the rise in Alberta again. 21 more cases are confirmed since yesterday. That's the biggest one-day jump since July. 12 of the new cases are in the north zone, 9 are in the south. Still to come, a Quebec political party leader applauding Danielle Smith. An intriguing visit from the man running to be Quebec's next premier, speaking to students at the U of C today.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Union members at the Sobeys Rocky View Distribution Centre in Balzac have voted overwhelmingly in favor of strike action. Teamsters local union 987 says of the 219 people who voted, 92% voted in favor of strike action. They warned that potential strike action could disrupt delivery of goods to major grocery stores, convenience stores, and independent grocers through central and southern Alberta. Workers are seeking more competitive wages and non-monetary changes to their collective agreement. A strike notice could take place as soon as Monday. A fast-approaching municipal election means Calgary is quickly filling up with signs for candidates vying for your vote. Under city bylaw, the official election period for signs doesn't start until September 22nd, but they can still be displayed on public and private land before then. However, election signs are not allowed on public land near intersections, crosswalks, or driveway crossings. Signs from the same candidate on public boulevards must also be separated by at least 20 meters. Election signs cannot be put on street light or traffic poles, transit signs, or +15 bridges. But election posters are allowed on unpainted street light poles, and at least one party is taking advantage of that.
And so if it is a poster that can wrap around the light post without sticking out, then it can be attached to an unpainted light post. If the light post is painted, so you do see a few in the city that are painted to go with the neighborhood, those you cannot, because you have to use an adhesive that is temporary, so basically clear tape.
Signs must be taken down within 72 hours after the October 20th election. Breaking the rules could result in fines of up to $1,000 per sign. We told you earlier, Danielle Smith is feeling optimistic about Ottawa's focus these days, and that's a real shift in the relationship. Smith is often pushing back against the Liberals, and the leader of the Parti Québécois says he sees some common ground there. Paul St. Pierre Plamondon was at the University of Calgary today, telling students that Quebec and Alberta share many frustrations with federal overreach. Here's Mark Villani.
Parti Québécois leader Paul St. Pierre Plamondon is leading polls to become the next premier of Quebec. But he's also making a statement to Alberta, hoping to find common ground on his province's potential separation from Canada.
We cannot influence that parliament, and we cannot cope with those policies.
Plamondon sat down for a fireside chat with students at the University of Calgary, promising that if elected, he'd lead a third referendum on Quebec's independence. He cited agreements with Alberta Premier Danielle Smith's demands for more provincial rights and less federal interference.
She played her cards very well. Doesn't mean I agree with Danielle Smith on everything, but the purpose of a parliament is to give a voice and some coherence to your people's will.
Plamondon says French language and culture is being ignored by Ottawa, but he also disagrees with equalization payments, arguing that federal handouts discourage entrepreneurship and that his province would be stronger outside of that program.
Quebec will get back 90 billions every year in money sent to Ottawa. We'll take care of healthcare and education and social services. Will be good.
But even deeper to Thursday's discussion was an emphasis on collaboration between differing views on university campuses, both in Quebec and Alberta. Wednesday's fatal shooting of U.S. conservative political activist Charlie Kirk is sparking that dialogue.
We're not here to endorse. We're not here to promote anything other than the ability to talk about things that might be controversial.
And although controversial, Plamondon reiterates any future move towards sovereignty must first come through democracy.
Instead of having a federal government deciding for them on many issues, it would just make sense in light of history, and it would make sense for other regions.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Plamondon has previously said he's confident his party has what it takes to win a referendum if elected. The next Quebec election is scheduled for October 2026. Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast, and it's nice to have the summer weather stick around. We're not going to talk about when it's going to go away, at least not yet. Details next.
Air quality was a little nicer today. We ranged from low to moderate on that air quality health index, and temperatures were toasty, especially for this time of year. We missed a little bit of summer. July was rainy and cool, so now we're making up for that. 25 degrees was the high in Calgary today. A normal daytime high for this time of year is 18. So above normal, mid-20s and through Edmonton, Saskatoon, Regina, also in Toronto and Fredericton in the country today. Okay, radar and satellite, we do have a system pushing in from the States. It's going to redevelop, and while it's not going to be dramatic weather for most people tomorrow, it will impact our weather. I'm going to show you that on the Futurecast here. So in the city in the morning hours, the clouds will increase in the morning, and then later in the morning, after about 10 in the morning, we have the potential for some isolated showers. Now, in most cases, this will just be evaporating before it hits the ground, but you may see a little sprinkle out there late morning and early afternoon, and then this clears out later in the afternoon, and we're just looking at a mix of sun and cloud. We will get that development in the mountains again, especially in the south, and then tracking off into the foothills. This will actually, some of these cells could actually make their way all the way to Highway 2. So south of High River, Nanton, Claresholm, you could see a little bit of shower activity, even a non-severe thunderstorm out there, closer to those supper hours tomorrow. And Saturday, similar development, pretty stable throughout the day though, especially for the city. And then later in the day in the southern mountains and foothills, there will be that shower and thunderstorm development once again. Okay, for Friday, tomorrow, In Calgary, 24 degrees for our high, so we're holding on to this warmth right through the weekend. That small chance of an isolated sprinkle in the morning and early afternoon hours, and then that really just clears out for the afternoon. Mainly bright Saturday and Sunday, daytime highs in those mid-20s. And for Monday, temperatures will cool. We do have a decent chance of showers, and some of these pockets could be heavy. We could even see a few millimeters collect in parts of the city on Monday, and even late day thunderstorms possible. Checking out that 10-day trend. Don't worry, we're not done with these 20s yet and these warmer temperatures. Now, while tomorrow we'll see more cooler days, for example, Monday, Thursday, and Friday will be below that 20 mark. But when Tuesday, Wednesday, and even for the next weekend, it should be quite toasty. Don't miss the Hospital Home Lottery Range Rover VIP deadline. Deadline is midnight tomorrow to win a Range Rover Sport or choose $125,000 cash. Buy now at hospitalhomelottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. It's seen as an important player in conservation efforts, but many might not even know it exists, and it's just east of the city, and that's where we head to next. An important Canadian conservation centre has made it through its third successful endangered species breeding season. The Wilder Institute's Archibald Biodiversity Centre is focused on species preservation, and so far its research and work has been incredibly important. Tim Brooke explains.
20 minutes outside of Strathmore sits one of the most important facilities in the province.
We run these programs very quietly out of this very secluded site on purpose, because that is the best situation for successful natural breeding.
That's because at the Archibald Biodiversity Centre, population is the entire point.
We are focused here on preserving some of Canada's most endangered species.
In the pond building, 9 around-the-clock staff are able to breed, upkeep, and eventually release hundreds of northern leopard frog tadpoles into natural wetlands.
Our goal is to establish populations at reintroduced sites near Kimberley.
And across the way at the marsh, there's another at-risk species, the incredibly loud whooping crane.
We're super excited this year to have our first 2 fertile eggs that were then hatched out.
It may not sound like much, but consider there were as few as 20 cranes worldwide this century.
The small contributions from breeding facilities actually, when coupled together, make a significant impact to those wild populations and their ability to thrive on the landscape.
The center's burrowing owls sure look happy.
We are only temporarily holding these owls through their first winter until we're able to release them back to the landscape as yearlings.
26 were released last year. Next door, there's Canada's most endangered species. At the Burrow Building, these Vancouver Island marmots recently welcomed in 17 shy new pups. Like the other 4 species, they'll stay inside the temperature-controlled center all year. And then, when it's time...
Diversity is important, and the animals that make up the Canadian landscape are important and play a specific role and have a niche and are contributing ways that we may not even understand yet. And so it's important to conserve those populations.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Wheatland County.
To learn more about the Wilder Institute's conservation work, you can visit our website. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Have a good night.